I got another super chat from a Hall of Famer, a GOAT, a legend. He goes by the name of Joe Breezy. Joe said, who's the better overall and career? Or who's the better player overall and career? Klay Thompson or Damian Lillard? Also, Dwight Howard does everything and more that Bill Old-Ass Russell did if you put him in the 60s. Bill Old-Ass Russell won't do what Dwight did in the 2010s.
Dame is better than Klay.
That's number one. That's number one. And number two, it's real easy to call somebody dumb when you already know the answers to the test. We already seen the 60s. So now you want to take a guy from the 60s and transport him to the 2010s. That's just so unfair, man. That shit boils my blood when I hear that. Ox, so this is what you got to do, Ox. I want to make sure that we clear, Ox. This is what you got to do, big fella. So you don't get to fly first class with us, Ox. You got to take the train from Phoenix to Portland, by the way. And you don't get to sleep in the Four Seasons with us, Ox. You got to sleep in the Super 8 on the other side of town because that's not where the white people sleep at. That's where the black people sleep at. So you got to play. You got to play over there. You got to do that kind of stuff in order to be effective. That shit makes me crazy, man. You know that first class organization and the weightlifting program that we had, Ox. You don't get to do that. Dwight Howard get to do that though because we got that right now. It's real easy to call people dumb when you already know the answers to the tests. All that shit makes me crazy.
Unfortunately, Dwight didn't play in the 60s.
Yes, I will say that the Klay and Dame conversation is a little tricky because it said who's better and better career and all that. But I mean, yeah, I guess one-on-one basketball, Dame will cook Klay, sure. But who's better?
If Klay's running with, let me ask you a question, Ox. If Klay's running with Dame, what does Klay's career look like as opposed to running with Steph?
We speak way more highly of Klay.
Well, Steph would have less rings.
Best player on the team.
Dame.
So take TJ McCollum off that crew. Take TJ McCollum
That's
off
it.
that
That's
crew.
you know who the best player is. If Klay and Dame play together, Dame's the best player on the team. There you go. That's the answer.
Yeah.
I mean,
there you go.
Cool.
Respect like if you play next to Dame. He was like the second best player on the team.
First of all, respect the 2020 offensive win share leader.
Friday, we'd have time.
I know offensive bonus
this Friday. I don't know if we got time today, but I'm just saying.
So let me ask you this, because I think that we have. Is there a consensus? Because I think that there was a time when Damian Lillard was a top 10 player in the game, bona fide.
Yeah.
Yes. That time was 3 years ago.
Can we ever say that about Klay? Can we ever say that about Klay Thompson?
I don't think Klay was ever a top 10 player in the league.
No.
I think Klay peaked at a different time to Dame, so a little bit different.
Sure, we were having conversations about Dame being a top 7 player in the league. It got higher than 10. It was like 6, 7, 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was bona fide as a
We've
top
had that
player.
conversation.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen top 40 dudes be better than top 20 dudes plenty of times.
No, you've seen top
on
40
any given
dudes
night,
outplay.
Klay can look like the best player in the world.
Yeah, but Ox is more so talking about
fair,
impact. He's more so
That's what I
talking
was
about
about
impact to winning. Like you could be better than a guy, but not be better than a guy. You know?
Yeah, Dame is better than that.
Yeah,
guy.
Dame is just both though.
I don't impactful to winning. I don't think Dame's more impactful to winning than Klay. I'm sorry.
I don't got the words, chill. I don't got the words, chill. It's one of them basketball things. I can't explain it. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. I can't come up with it, chill. I just don't know. But I got Dame too, yo. I got Dame.
Well, I was about to say, so if we walk in the gym, you saw this dude, the 6'6", 6'7" light-skinned dude, and you saw this dude, the 6'2" guard, and you saw them dudes rock. Who is better at basketball?
Dang.
I don't know, chill. I've seen Klay Thompson do some unthinkable things. Like I can't say for sure.
He did give his team 37 and a quarter. Dame ain't
okay.
saying like so, Klay like that. I don't understand why
Klay is like that. Dame is a better player. Like,
but look though, I think if you put them on the same team,
this is crazy.
My bad, Pim. But if you put them dudes on the same team, Klay, I think Dame looks better. Like Klay make Dame look better than Dame make Klay look better. You know what I'm saying? Like Klay, he gonna do his thing. Klay gonna help Dame get off.
Is he gonna do his thing, though, Ox? Like we talk about Klay. Is he really gonna do his
everywhere?
Thing?
Yes. Klay ain't no backpack. That's all I'm saying.
Damian Lillard been first team all NBA.
That's all I'm saying. Klay was the other guy on that team. That would have been cool without Steph. Everybody can't say that.
I will admit that Steph Curry, if he could have picked that ball up and ran it over to Klay Thompson when he was on that run for 37, he would have done it. He couldn't get him the ball fast enough. Every trip when he was scoring, he couldn't get him the ball fast enough. No doubt.
You know,
yeah.
I'm saying I would take so I go off of this a lot. A lot of the times I go off who would I rather have? I'd rather have Klay. Klay needs a lot less. I like dudes that need a lot less. You know what I'm saying? Can make $1 out of 15 cents.
Dame Dollar can make many dollars out of 15 cents.
I'm not knocking Dollar. I would never do that. I would never do that.
Okay. Well, I will let you know that the analytics have spoken definitively on this subject. If common sense
Klay,
already
right?
hasn't.
They got Klay, right?
Hell no.
The analytics should have Klay, right?
First of all, the accolades
right?
say Dame by far. We're talking 7 All-NBA teams, okay, versus 2. Okay. The analytics
would have been 8.
How much those 4 rings weigh?
Heavily.
Okay.
Very
Yeah,
heavy.
it depends.
I don't want to hear you say the accolades weigh when the rings are the heaviest thing on the scale.
Well,
I
Robert
just want to clarify.
is better than Chris Webber.
No, you can't say that.
So you're telling me, so Kevin Durant's rings don't count, but Klay's on the team and they count for him.
Here's what I'm saying. Well, Klay built them rings. Them rings started with Klay and they ended with Klay. One was with Klay at the beginning. Another was with Klay at the end. KD KD merely just was one of them. That was one of the diamonds on the rings.
So
Klay was the ring.
Them rings count for Klay.
Hey, he was merely just the diamond on the ring.
Easy, Ronnie.
They don't count. Some people on the team they count.
I see where you get it from, Ox.
Hold up,
I see where you get it from.
All I'm saying is, I didn't bring Kevin Durant into this argument. All I'm saying with Klay is, you can't bring Robert Horry or Kevin Durant into this, and this is the only reason why I'm gonna say this. Well, you can bring KD into it. The Robert Horry thing, the reason why you can't bring the Robert Horry thing is because I was a bench player on that team or I was a role player. Klay was not a role player. He was not. Clay's contributions on that ring were heavy.
Yes.
Heavy.
Right. The point. This. Relax, bro. Relax. Clay's never been.
So what about the first one?
Draymond has never been better than Klay.
He was the third.
But wait a second. Just relax, y'all. Relax. We can get.
Iguodala was the Finals MVP.
We can get past this part of the conversation if we just do it like this. Because what Mars just did was throw a nasty monkey wrench in here. So let's just.
I asked a very valid question.
All right, it's valid. It is valid. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 2 away from Klay. We're going to take 2 away from Klay, okay? So we're going to yes, Ron, it just makes it easy.
For what?
Because so we can move on in the conversation.
Because KD?
So it doesn't, damn,
you
KD.
You see, and y'all be mad when I say this boy that ruined basketball discourse. Go ahead, Ox.
All right, but still, bro, don't
know what? I'm going to sit this one out.
Because Klay
still got 2.
Klay got 2. That's what I'm trying to get to. Klay got 2. How heavy are those 2 rings that he contributed heavily to?
The first one is a big deal. Yes, the first one is a huge deal, no doubt about that.
And you know what? I should have just left it alone because Dame's better than Klay.
He has the first ring, he was the 3rd best player on his team. In my opinion, Draymond was better. Steph was better. In the second one, he was the 4th best player on his team. The third one, he was the 4th best player on his team. In the 4th one, he was the 3rd best player on his team, or arguably the 4th best player if you want to put Andrew Wiggins over him as well. Stop doing this. Like, this is crazy.
What player was
Dame on his team? No one says shit about him.
What player was Dame in his ring season?
0, because he has 0 rings.
Okay,
but you know what?
Well, look, you know, I'm
heard
right now,
Mitch Richmond would win 6 rings with the Bulls. So
Mitch Richmond has a championship for it as well.
Okay, cool. So what I'm saying is, how many rings does Dame? How many rings does Dame win in his hometown of Oakland? How many? If
you take Klay off of that team and put Dame,
no. If you take
him and Steph can't coexist. No, why would we do that?
Because I'm trying to see how many rings Dame could win as the best player. Because in his prime, Dame wasn't backseat to nobody. You're talking about the best player on his team.
Who knows?
And that be the point sometimes. Because I could argue Klay was so nice that he needed his own team.
This is crazy.
How would that have went?
I can't believe this.
How would that?
I'm not as optimistic about Klay.
And I'm not as optimistic about Dame as the number 1 option either.
And that's fine. My point is, Dame is the better player. Like, that's it. I don't care about none of this.
We're not
Dame is
splitting
better,
hairs
that's
between
it.
these two.
Hold on. Who's
It's
okay?
not a little bit better. It's a lot better.
All
Like
right,
a
yeah,
lot
Dame
better.
Like,
Hey,
that's all I'm saying.
Pin Morris, that's
Wing,
fair.
ring,
Dame is
whatever.
better as the number one option. Who's a better 2 or 3 option?
Dame.
No,
It depends who the
No,
one
he's
is.
not.
Yes.
No, he's not. Because
Yes, he
as
is.
a 2 or 3 option, I'm
In
asked to
order
do
for
more than
Dame
just
to
put
be
the
a
ball in the
number
hoop.
2,
Ron,
you know how good the number 1 has to be?
I was about to say that,
He just
Mars.
had
Ron,
one.
If Dame, no, don't do
The
that.
nigga just
Ron.
had one in Milwaukee.
In
Okay,
his
so
twilight.
rewind.
Dame
Okay,
in
so rewind
Milwaukee
the clock.
better than Klay ever was.
No, he wasn't.
Okay, not only that, Ron, rewind the clock back. Rewind the clock back to, I don't know, let's say 2014, 2015. Imagine Dame running with Kevin Durant.
Oh my God.
What does he look like running with Kevin Durant?
He had Al
Hey,
Farouk.
you know what he looks like?
What do he look like running with James?
You know what he looks
by
like?
the way?
Mhm.
He looks like a team that
Harkless.
loses in the Western
Al Farouk
Conference
was
Finals.
cold.
Exactly.
That's what he looks
had
like.
Mo Harkless and
Hey.
Al Farouk. So what he need LeBron and KD for?
Damian Lillard has five
you are
top
so
10
nasty.
MVP finishes. 5. Okay.
All right.
This is a
Damn,
definitive
Dame's better,
dude.
man. We know this, man. We know Pin.
Okay,
we know,
thank
we know
God.
Dame's better. man.
Y'all
We
just
know
trolling.
Dame's better.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know. I was not trolling. I was not trolling. I was just trying to have a good, in-depth basketball conversation about
Yes.
how good the immortal Klay Thompson really is. And I wanted to see if there was an angle there that we can show a value for Klay anywhere similar to the value of Dame. And I think there was a point there where we got to a common ground where Klay is very valuable to winning
Absolutely.
4 rings.
Klay
You know what I'm
Thompson
saying?
is
Amazing
closer to
player.
Andre Iguodala.
No,
than
don't do that
Andre,
shit,
than
please.
Andre
Okay.
Iguodala.
Oh, is this the
No,
Nick
Ron,
Claxton thing
hell
part
no,
2?
hell
Nick
no,
Claxton
we're
part
not
2?
doing that shit. No way.
Ron, what's the separation between Klay Thompson and Dame as shooters? Not just at the long ball line, overall as a shooter. What's the separation between those guys?
When Klay shoots, you think it's going in every time.
As a pull,
Klay is a bigger
okay,
shooter and a better shooter, but
as
he's
a
more
catch and
open,
shoot,
too.
so as a catch and shoot guy, how far is the gap between these guys? A catch and shoot guy.
I think they got a tier.
Okay, so
God.
now, so then we'll move to pull up shooters. 1 dribble, 2 dribble.
If it's just 1 dribble, 2 dribble,
Still close.
I don't think it's a difference. I put them in the same.
So we're here. When
Yeah.
Off of one or two bounces, I got Klay.
But when
Off of one-
when you get to talking about coming off screens, easy Dame. When you get to talking about breaking somebody down and step backs,
Yes.
easy Dame. When you get to
Yes.
talking about 1 dribble pull-ups,
Mhm.
that goes back to Klay. Like in the mid-range, pump fake, 1 dribble pull-up, 2 dribble pull-up, that's
Oh
Klay.
my God.
I won't argue.
Chill. The entire league is built on guys being too good for their role, winning championships. Okay. D Wade
What
was
does that
too.
mean, Pen?
What it means is when you have a guy like D Wade who has his own
Yeah.
team, you get to scheme for him, you get to double him, triple him, you get to direct offense away from him. When he pairs up with a guy like LeBron James, well, now you have a guy who is too good for his role, too good to be a second option. D Wade, 2009, 2010, 2009, way too good to be a second option. Chris Bosh,
he, though?
way too good to be a third option.
Considering who he was,
Yes,
considering
of
who he
course
was running with, though.
he was a
Considering
top
who he was
5
running
player. Yo, chill. We got 30 teams in the league. You got a top 5
Yep.
player, the second best player on the team. Yeah, he's too good for his role. He could have been the best player on a lot of teams in the league. So what I'm saying is
Right.
when you do that, this guy doesn't have as much defensive attention on him. So it's the same thing with Dame. Dame was legitimately a top 10 player in the league for a very long time. We're talking almost
100%.
8 years. Okay. You put this guy in that role, and yeah, defense is going to scheme for him. They're going to blitz him. He's going to get the best coverage every single night. They're going to try to force the ball out of his hands. They're going to blitz him at half court. But if you put him with Jokic, you put him with KD, you put him with LeBron, well, now you can't do that to him anymore. Now you got to guard him honest. Now you got to guard him with your second best defender. Now you got to leave him open a little bit. Oh my God, he'd kill you. He would kill you. Like, this guy is so good. And that's the advantage that guys who play on these stacked super teams, that's the advantage that they receive in terms of efficiency. And on the inverse, well, on the inverse, I look at a guy like, I don't know, a guy that y'all selectively left off your top 50 last episode, like Scotty Barnes, playing with guys that you can easily get off of because they can't shoot, Jonathan Mobos and Jamal Sheds and all these dudes. And you see the defensive attention he gets and the offensive load that he has to produce. And that's the same thing with, that's way worse than what Dame had to work with CJ McCollum in Portland. But the role difficulty has to matter here. It has to matter. Klay Thompson had an easier job. He was great at it. He was amazing at it. But I can say the same thing about Robert Horry. Nobody
It
gives a shit
looked
about
easy.
Yo, nobody gives a shit about Robert Horry winning 7 rings, but I'll tell you right now, Robert Horry's 7 rings versus Klay Thompson's 4 rings. Where's the gap here?
What do you mean? Where's the gap?
Where's the gap? Robert Horry was a starter on some of those teams, was he not? He was a great defensive player. He was the 3rd or 4th best player on some of his teams, was he not?
98. In 98, he started, and after that, he was a rotation player. He didn't start more than 30 games for them.
Fair.
He started on both Houston.
But did he not close a bunch of games for the Lakers?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, why?
Yes, he did. 100% he did.
Was his role ever as big as Klay's?
No.
Did he produce as much as Klay?
Well, Ron, what's the weight of 7 rings versus 4 rings? I don't know. 4 rings can fit on my right hand. 7 rings cannot. So I'm gonna say that, like I'm just saying you cannot measure rings in isolation. Otherwise, you end up with crazy arguments like, I don't know, Bill Russell's better than Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like you just can't.
We don't
Yeah,
have to
that's
measure
crazy.
them in
That's
isolation,
crazy, Mars.
We're talking about the players, and we know the players we're talking about, and we know the rings that they got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Klay was heavily involved in all 4 of his rings.
But this is the same thing with the MVP bullshit, right? Because we selectively changed the criteria.
Next time we just use VORP.
That's not what
James
I'm saying.
VORP is better for what it's worth.
If James VORP is better than
3 times better. It's not a little bit better. It's 3 times better. 54
3 times better and is
17.
ringless.
Then yeah, but it doesn't matter. The VORP clearly
would Dame trade his VORP for 4 rings?
I bet he would.
I
guarantee you would.
I would never change that VORP. There's nothing more valuable than VORP. So
it's the player choice.